I would like to hear other people's opinion on this. And yes, I said people. As I get older and I've had more experiences with people, I'm getting to where I would rather just deal with the like common right of center man that just doesn't really like me very much versus like a lot of woke or very progressive guys. Let me explain. So, the kind of right of center, I've worked in tech, worked in a lot of male dominated fields. And I think it's fair to say, and maybe this is because I'm in Ohio, but most guys here are kind of right of center. I wouldn't say a lot of them are like MAGA, but anyway, the general most common approach to me is they're like, all right, yeah, this is weird girl, whatever. I'll, I try to make friends with most people. They're like, yeah, no, you're just too different, or I don't know how to be friends with girls. Like I don't know how to interact with girls outside of like a dating context. So whatever. And there's not really any mystery that they don't really like me or they don't know what to do with me. But I've also had a lot of male friends that were progressive and made a big point of, yes, women have a shittier time on this earth, generally speaking. Racism's a thing, yada, 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 LGBT, all that. And it's fun for a while, and they seem like great supportive friends for a while. And then after a while, they get a little crankier, and I'm like, okay, maybe they're just having a rough time. And then after a few months of hanging out with them, I'm like, wait a second. They expect me to validate every one of their goddamn feelings, and they really see me as lesser than them. They really do. But there's this whole pretense of, oh, well, actually, like, I'm still, those other men, like, they don't understand the, shit women go through, but I do. But in a weird sort of way, they're kind of treating me worse. But there's kind of this smoke and mirrors. And, after being friends with them for a while, I kind of realized, they don't really like me either, but they haven't been honest with themselves about that. And they talk to me quite frankly as if I'm beneath them and as I can't really think for themselves. And they still want me to basically just be there to validate their emotions. And so it actually makes them worse to deal with because there's a whole smoke and mirrors. If being autistic, I already have a hard enough time, like, seeing through, like I'm not the kind of autistic person that just issues all people, but I can kind of get why some other autistic people do it. I still don't recommend it. But it's just, and here's the thing, like it's about a 50-50. Like it's a 50-50 chance whether a guy's going to be this way. So it's a fucking gamble. So every time I make friends with one of these like woke guys, I've just accepted that it's kind of a 50-50 chance that he's actually either going to be a good friend or he's going to be a fucking dick. And I'm just kind of ready to like let the bridge crumble if he turns out to be a dick. But it's getting to where it's like for day to day, I honestly kind of prefer the just kind of shitty right of center men. They're at least honest. They both suck though.